never done anything like this. This is so.
So we're recording, and hey there, Chou Chou. I'm so happy to be seeing you online. This is great. It's already bringing me so much joy just to see you. I miss you so much. But I wanted to ask you, and how are you doing during all of this personally?
Well, I think the most important thing for all of us is to first process that life's very different for the immediate future, but that life will be different after this wave goes through. And it may be better, it may be worse, but it will be different. And we all just need to find our best selves right now. So what I'm doing is scurrying around and preparing my household and balancing myself, and it's a great time to be doing things like that and figuring out what my choices are to survive right now. So Doc and I, Doc, my husband, your people, whoever is watching this out in the outer world, they don't know who Doc is, but Doc is 73 years old and I'm 66 years old. So we're in that danger group that we just need to hunker down. And fortunately, I'm a bit of a medical and scientific nerd. So I've been following this and I hunkered us down early. And so we're set, we're okay. Financially, we're devastated, just like the whole industry is. So there is that. But I have been devastated before. And I think musicians and creatives are creative, we're adaptable, and that we need to figure out what we can do to use our talents and our strengths to support all the people who may not be as resourceful as we are. We've always been the one to inspire and move things forward and boost morale, and we need to do that now. So anyway, that's about where I am right now, besides storing food and planting food in the garden and cleaning things up and taking inventory of things and supporting musicians and having long talks with friends who may not be doing so well, and looking at what options I have financially to get us by right now, which, our industry has been, especially musicians, live entertainers have been even more so than the DJs, that. Live musicians have been hurt by the digital world for a long time. And we've been struggling, we've been limping along and looking for alternatives, but now we really need to get creative here. So that's for sure.
How has this pandemic impacted you right now? Like, have you seen a change in how you're making your income from all of this?
There is no income. My contracts all had what's called the force majeure. Sure you know. So I we play by the rules, and everybody got their deposits back, and I'm concerned about the people who hired us and making sure they're okay. So and hopefully they'll think of us again. We've been in business for 35 years doing this. So we've been through 9/11, and we were through 2008, and we've seen fat times and we've seen lean times, and we kind of limp along. But we've kind of always, from the start, even when we were making incredible amounts of money, it takes a lot to run a big band. It's all been put back into the band. But even when we were making a lot of money, we always lived very humbly, because we knew that this industry is fleeting, and that so little has changed in my lifestyle because I kind of I live like it's in the 1930s anyway. And so I roast my coffee, I butcher my meats, I buy in bulk, I plant my garden, I sew my clothes, I starch Doc's shirts, I already live that way. So I know that we're okay. And we're okay because we hunkered down early because we knew we were in that age group. So all we have to do is keep our door closed and weigh this out. But there is no income at this point. But I'm much more concerned about the people like you, people in the urban population, people who don't have the skills, don't have the means to, and so many living paycheck to paycheck and can't get through this at all. And there's an awful lot of them. And I can't even invite people to stay here because, because
don't do that. Yeah, you guys are good right now.
Fine, but we just have to be here and be isolated. And we're going to be fine because we started so early and we're recluses anyway. So, anyway, did that answer your question already?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
I have some equity in the house. When I can, I'm going to talk to my son and see what he advises. He's my very smart son, and see what he advises about refinancing my house and maybe, taking some extra to get us through for a while. But I'm also working on lots of projects that anything I could think of that can be done now that helps other people. You might recall, my darling, that I got a fever years ago from the flu, because I get terrible flus, which is one of the reasons we hunkered down. But in the fever of the flu, I wrote 23 children's songs. And I never did that before. And it's a project that I've just kind of put aside while I've been busy with so much else. And I always felt like I would get back to it. And some of the songs are for frightened children. Some of the songs are for soothing children, or just there's ones for them to wake up to, and ones for them to go to sleep to, and ones for them to understand the noise in the city. And so I think it's time for me to get those songs out there, because I think there's children who are home and parents that need entertainment, and children that need entertainment, parents that need the children to be entertained. And so I'm kind of thinking that's probably I should put that on the front burner right now. Yeah.
Great. Yeah, when you're ready, let me know. I'd love to help promote that. I think that's beautiful. And you definitely have that talent of, musical skill and, just whimsical beauty that will be able to really bring these children. I think that's going to be really amazing. Keep me posted on that. I'll keep the world posted.
Thank you.
What do you feel like, as far as the rest of the world, or everyone watching that's in our industry, like how do you have any advice for us, or what are your thoughts?
It's easy to talk to creatives because you're part of my tribe, my family. But as someone who's older, and as a mom, as someone who's had a incident-prone life, I've been through a lot. As you know, I'm an autism advocate. I'm an autistic woman. So my managing through the world outside of my house is, it's overwhelming. And there's a lot of things that can cause a lot of anxiety, just the noise and just all the sensory, the visual input, everything. That's why the stage is so good for me, because when I'm on stage, I'm in control, the spotlight's on me, and that negates all the rest of what's in the room. But I've had to deal with a lot of fear, a deep down fear. And I've been thinking about fear, and I've handled it many ways. And if you look at fear, which we're all going through, and we all need to process the fear that we have, whether it's economical or health, or there's lots of fears going on, and we all have to manage that to move ahead. So that's the first thing. If you look at fear like water, and what I used to do is think that I could just shut it out, you know, dam up the doors, stop all the leaks, and pretend that everything's okay. Well, that's okay until it does leak, because it's going to get in. There's enough water, it's going to get in. You can only do that for so long. Then I decided I would use that fear. It's still keeping the analogy of water. I would use it, and I would build a mill, and I would use it to grind the grains of my creativity and my creative process. So I would use all of that. Well, that was fine till the mill goes dry, the water runs dry, or it floods the mill. Still, that wasn't the answer. So then I'm going to get a little visual, a little fantasy here, so pardon me. That's just how I am. So then I visualized that I grew wings and I flew above the water. And it couldn't really get me. I was above it. I was more spiritual, more internalized, more balanced, just above it. And encourage others to get above it, like so many of the artists do. Come to my fantasy world. And I would fly above it until it rained and I would crash into the waters. In the water, in the fear, I found out after 66 years, you need to learn to swim. You need to surround yourself with the fear, not run away, not stop it up, not fly above it. You need to swim in it. You're going to flounder around, you're going to sink, you're going to choke, you're going to be exhausted before you figure it out. But if you just keep going, then you're going to learn to swim. And you're going to see a friend who's struggling. So after you learn to swim, you toss them a pool float. You know, put on the polka dot bikini. And you say, okay, here is the fear. Am I going to drown in it, or am I going to swim and I'm going to throw the pool float to somebody else? So you do that. We don't know what's coming ahead. It's scary. So it's scary. So you do your best. Or you shut down if you need to. You swim. You swim. And none of us has to be excellent. We don't have to be horrible. But we have to be our whole selves and take care of those around us the best we can. And I commend you for making this video and doing, it's so you to be helping the community just and being positive as you always are. And it's why I respect you more than, I put you at the top of the heap of people that I think are just awesome people. And I got to get a tissue because I'm starting to
I'll edit this part.
So, did that answer the question at all?
Yeah, that was beautiful. Thank you, Chou Chou. I think that's really
So
wonderful.
what else did you want to ask me? Like swimming in fear?
No, I think that's beautiful. I think, yeah.
Really, once you don't fear it anymore, can fear even exist? No,
Yeah.
it doesn't. I mean, it does, but it doesn't. When you get to that point, which you will, then you'll understand. It's just, all right, this is fear, and you do it anyway.
Gotcha. Thank you. I think that's really, really wonderful. I think, I guess the last thing I'll ask before we come to the end is, is there anything that we can let people know about how to support you or how to find information about you or, you know, anything like this?
Thank you. As for supporting me, any kind of incentives or things like that, no. Support the people who are in much more need than I am. And there's plenty of people who need a safety net, who need a little encouragement. The people who you're living with, you know, or next door, or other musicians. And we're going to be kind of bartering for a while. If somebody has some rice and somebody has some beans, then you got something.
Yeah.
We're gonna all help each other. And the wonderful, marvelous thing is that we have the internet now. So we're always connected. I would love for people to follow me at docscantlin.com, sign up for my newsletter. And as I have, because I'm blogging, you know, my husband just retired, so there's not a lot on the website since I took over the band, and he's retired. But I am blogging both autism advocacy and about the business. And I'll be adding a lot more. And I'll be talking about fear, and I'll be talking about survival, and oh goodness gracious, I'll be talking about roasting your own coffee beans and just, you know, 1930s life skills that have been forgotten over the years, or just trying to be the good mom I am. And so, and be the Pollyanna I always am, so that we can all get by. So that is, we all have something to offer, and what I have to offer may not be much, but we all have to offer what we have, or change our skills to offer things. So, but that's all I can say. So you would sign up at DOC. Will you put that up or anything?
Yeah, I'll put all your links on
a link to,
yeah,
so they could sign up. So it's docscantlin.com, because it was Doc Scantlin and the Imperial Palms Orchestra, but now it's Chou Chou and the Imperial Palms Orchestra. And he's so proud of me, and it's going great, or it was going great, you know. So oh well, and it'll go great again in whatever it goes in. But it's a very creative time for us all. And we need to work on our craft and move ahead and keep connected to each other, and share that beans and rice.
Okay.